So I'm going to explain the API architecture. So we are using the microservice, right? So here API, this one is one API, this one is one API, this one is one API. Okay, the API will contains several endpoint will be there. Here several endpoint will be there. Several endpoint will be there, and each endpoint will have their corresponding URL. This endpoint will have their URL. This endpoint will have their URL. This endpoint will have their URL. Like this, all endpoint will have their corresponding URL will be there. Okay, so end user will send the request to corresponding URL, to corresponding API, to corresponding endpoint. So when the request will come, so our API will receive the request. So there are two requirements. One is when the request will come from the end user, we are going to the database. We are going to the database and fetching the records from the database and sending back to the end user. Okay. So if someone will send the request to this API, this endpoint, so it will goes to like database, then fetch the record from the database and return back to the client. Okay. So this is one requirement, and another requirement is if the request will come, then our API will receive the request. Then we are doing one data power call. Some requirement is there. We want the data from the external source system. Some data are there in external source system database. Okay, so when we'll get the request, we are sending the request to the data power. Then data power will goes to the external API, external resource. Then this external resource will return the data to the data power. Then data power will return to the API, and API will return to the end user. This is two requirement will be there. Got it? Okay. So in this architecture, so first the request will come. Okay. When the request will come, then here my controller will receive the request. Of course, the dispatcher sublet will be there. Then he will pass the request to the controller. Okay. So controller will ultimately controller will receive the request. Then from controller will send the request to the service. This one is service class. So when the controller will receive the request, controller will send the request to the service, and the service class will return the request to the repository class. Okay, and this repository class will goes to the database. Here we are writing the persistence logic. Here we are writing the service logic, okay, business logic. So here we are writing the repository logic. So we'll goes to the database and we'll fetch the record from the database. We'll return this record to the database to the service class. Then service class will return the response to the controller. Then controller will response back to the client. Okay. This is one requirement. Same one request will come. Then controller will send the request to the service. Now this time one more component class will be there. Okay, this component class will calls to the data power. Okay, some external API is there. I need the data from the external API, so we will send the request to the data power. Data power will send the request to the external API. Then external API will return to the data power. The request, the response will be there in the data power. Then data power will send the response to the component class. Then component class will return back to the service. Then service to controller, like this. Okay. So our here component class will send the request to the data power, right? So here this one will act as consumer. This one will act as a provider. Then data power will send the request to this SCI API. Then this one will be consumer. This one will be provider. at that time. Then provider will send the request to here, then it will send the request to here. That's understood, right? Ready? Okay. If you have doubt, then ask me. Okay. So this one is our API architecture, and we are doing the one more thing is we are doing the data migration. In data migration architecture, actually we have all the records in somewhere like DB2, MySQL, several databases are there. All the records are there in several databases. Okay. So what we are doing, we are fetching all the records from the DB2 or MySQL or some other database, and we are storing in one MongoDB. Got it? So what we need to do? So my requirement is we will fetch the record from the DB2 and we will place in the MongoDB. That is my requirement. So for that, what we are doing? So to get the record from the DB2, someone has to write the queries. Okay. So it will they will write the query. Based on the query, the record will be fetched from the database. And after fetching the record, so as we are storing in the MongoDB, we are storing the data in MongoDB as a JSON file. So here store procedure will be there. It will convert whatever the data we got from the DB2 or MySQL, it will convert as a JSON file. It will convert as a JSON file. So then after converting to the JSON file, it will store here one MFT. Okay, multi-file transfer. So here it will so all the JSON file will be stored in MFT folder. When the data will be stored in the MFT folder, so this one is my AWS container. Okay, so this one is my AWS container. Okay, so when the data will be stored in the MFT folder, then automatically the data will be come to this folder. This one is called S3. Okay, so all the whenever one JSON file will comes to MFT folder, then all the file will comes to automatically it will comes to S3 folder. Okay. So one Lambda server is running in background. Okay, as a daemon thread. So what it will do? It will when the file will store in S3, automatically as Lambda server is running in background, it will goes to S3 folder. Okay, it will goes to S3 folder and it will fetch the bucket and key information for each and individual JSON file. Okay, and it will then Lambda server will send a request to cache loader proxy. One cache loader proxy service it is running always. Okay, so this cache loader proxy will store this bucket and key information in the RabbitMQ. Okay, in the RabbitMQ. So when the bucket and key information for the corresponding file, JSON file, will store in here RabbitMQ, it will then we are writing one cache loader. Okay, one cache loader we are writing for payment cache loader will be there, and for several API for accounts account cache loader will be there. So like this cache loader will be there. It will goes to RabbitMQ. While we'll run this application, it will goes to RabbitMQ. It will fetch the bucket and key information, and it will goes to S3 bucket. It will download that file based on the bucket and key. This application will got the bucket and key information from this RabbitMQ. It will goes to S3 folder, and from S3 folder it will comes to he will be download from the S3 folder, and whatever the file he has downloaded from the S3 folder, then this file will be stored in the MongoDB. This is called data migration. We are doing this data migration architecture. This one is our API architecture. This one is our data migration architecture.
got it?